It's here.
It's here, yeah. The police. But
I was so.
All you hear is Donald Trump and all of them talking about fear. We're the ones getting killed. We're the ones getting shot. We're the ones that we're denied to live in certain communities. We've been hung. We've been shot. It's amazing why we keep loving this country, and this country does not love us back. And it's really so sad. We got to do better, but we got to demand better. Like it's funny. We protest, and they send riot guards, right? They send people in riot outfits. They go up to Michigan with guns, and they're spitting on cops, and nothing happens. The training has to change in the police force. The unions have to be taken down in the police force. I believe in good cops. We're not trying to defund the police and take all their money away. We're trying to get them to protect us, just like they protect everybody else. We're the ones having to talk to every black child. What white father has to give his son a talk about being careful if you get pulled over? It's just ridiculous. And it just keeps going. There's no charges. Breonna Taylor, no charges, nothing. All we're asking is you live up to the Constitution. That's all we're asking for everybody, for everyone.
And when you say the name Jacob Blake, make sure you say father, make sure you say cousin, make sure you say son, make sure you say uncle, but most importantly, make sure you say human. Human life. And his life matters. So many people have reached out to me telling me they're sorry that this happened to my family. Well, don't be sorry, because this has been happening to my family for a long time. Longer than I can account for. It happened to Emmett Till. Emmett Till is my family. Philando, Mike Brown, Sandra. This has been happening to my family. And I've shed tears for every single one of these people that it's happened to. This is nothing new. I'm not sad. I'm not sorry. I'm angry. And I'm tired. I haven't cried one time. I stopped crying years ago. I am numb. I have been watching police murder people that look like me for years. I'm not sad. I don't want your pity. I want change.
Family Room Podcast, episode 59. I'm Mike Rome.
Stefan Rome.
Jesse Williams.
And y'all know normally I try to play like something upbeat and and that wasn't even, I hella just changed the mood with that. I did want to start with this topic. I didn't really think about how much I really changed the mood in here, but I guess it was going to happen with the conversation that we were going to open up with today. But yeah, man, I wanted to start with that, man. When I watched Doc Rivers, I wouldn't say give that speech, but when I watched him speak yesterday, it was really moving. And then I saw when Jacob Blake walked into the car, but right when I saw the cop reach for him, I turned the video off. I was like, I can't keep watching this. And to be real, like she was saying, I was like, I'm low key kind of numb to it too. But then it's weird, like watching those types of videos, it doesn't make me cry anymore. But when I hear people speak how Doc Rivers did, it makes me emotional. But yeah, I wanted to, that's really the main topic of conversation going on right now. And we're going to get to the jokes and we're going to get to the fun like we normally do. But I definitely wanted to, and we talked about it before we started, but we wanted to make sure we opened up with, what's been going on for a long time, but most recently Jacob Blake and what happened in Wisconsin, and also how the NBA players, I don't want to say the NBA specifically, the players specifically, how they respond to it and how they force their league to respond to it. But yeah, man, y'all want to go? I guess it's too late to ask niggas how they doing. We should just get into it, no?
Prayers to Jacob Blake and everybody. He's last I checked, he's in critical condition. But
he's stable.
Yeah, he's okay. He's stable. Yeah. Like we were saying before, look, if I'm gonna show up, I'm not a violent person. But if I decided that I'm going to be a violent person, you know who I'm not gonna show up with? My wife. I'm not gonna show up with my kids. I was breaking up a fight, from what I heard, between two women. Did y'all see the WNBA, with the WNBA players, the shirts they wore? I had Jacob Blake's name spelled out and with the bullet shots in the back. Saw somebody on Twitter say, this is harsh and this is a lot. I said, oh, are you uncomfortable? Guess what? This is a t-shirt. Somebody's actually laying up somewhere fresh off the police shooting his ass up.
I'm proud, I'm happy and proud that the NBA didn't miss this moment. Yeah. And again, I was telling Derek, I might even mention to you when we was over here yesterday, Triz, how I already did it once, but how I wanted to apologize again to you because you were right. You know what I'm saying? The NBA players actually playing and being in arenas with NBA cameras in front of them, that has been the biggest platform, and them not missing this moment, more specifically the Milwaukee Bucks not missing this moment and deciding not to take the court. We were talking before we turn the mics and cameras on, how you were saying you kind of wish Milwaukee let Orlando know so they could get on board with it. And I don't. I mean, it was like, it happened in our city. This is something that we want to do. We want to spearhead this. And I think Jesse or Derek, somebody might have said, like, if we talk to y'all, it might get back to y'all front office. And y'all
I understand why.
I'm
thinking about from, like,
player to player.
Yeah, player to player. I'm not thinking about organization, and I understand why you don't want this to get out. You want to make a statement. You want to bring awareness to this, and you're making it known. And you're putting the pressure on everybody else. What are you guys going to do when your game time comes up, bro?
Exactly.
Yeah.
What are you talking about? We've been saying that we about it. We've been saying that we about it, bro. You know what I'm saying?
I was sitting over here yesterday, and when they boycotted the first game, the news hadn't come yet. So we're sitting in here, Orlando's on the court warming up, and I'm looking at the thing, the ESPN app, and it says delayed, like game delayed. And I'm like, what's going on? And then we find out Milwaukee's not coming out, and there was no news about the next two games. There's 3 games scheduled.
We were talking about it.
There's no news about game 2. And I remember saying to them, like, hey, yo, LeBron's not finna let them not play this game, bro. Like, they're gonna play this game. And then the news came out about the second one and the third one. And then you hear news this morning that they've decided to resume the playoffs, maybe even as early as Friday. And in the original meeting, all the remaining teams in the bubble all wanted to keep playing, and it was the Lakers and the Clippers that was like, nah. Yeah. LeBron was like, I don't want to do anything until the report is that LeBron said that he wants the owners and the front office people to be more involved and to like flex their power more. It's like, we're the players, we're doing all we can. Like, y'all need to do something too, which is dope.
Yeah, for sure.
And originally, that's what I was talking about. Like, you get to this point now because you did what you had to do. We saved the league, y'all. We showed our commitment. We're in a bubble away from our families, bro. Most of the owners ain't show up to this bubble. Y'all watching us on TV. You got your kids hugged up. It's a pandemic outside. Don't let something else happen again. And okay, let's talk about what would you say the NBA's next move is?
I don't know.
If you were sitting in that room, what would be your suggestion?
Well, at this point, the players want LeBron and the players want the front office to do something. So
I'm saying, but that's what I'm saying. What would that something be? What would you
suggest that something to be?
Because it's not a money thing, right? This isn't a money thing, right?
Use their political power. Like they have
Exactly.
power. Like
Exactly.
they're involved in politics, and they give money to these politicians and stuff. They're saying like, yo, you guys have a hand in this. Y'all need to speak up. Like, we're the players. We're going to mobilize the people that are going to follow our lead. But where's the real actions that are going to actually change some laws and change some legislation?
I think that what I would be saying, and then this is just so perfect. It sounds bad to say all this is so perfect, but oh my gosh, it's such an opportunity I see for the NBA. What I would be sitting across from them saying, if I'm LeBron, and just give me the 15 best players in the league, and let's go sit down. We got it, y'all. We'll talk to everybody else. Cool. Okay, cool. And every NBA city, get with anybody that's already been doing this work. Back them. That's one. Two, when legislation comes across, we want you to get behind it. We want you flexing all your power to make sure it gets done. Not always show support for this bill. Make sure it gets done. Commit to that, sign the paper, and I'll get back on the court. If not, me, Giannis, Steph, James, Russ, AD, all of us will never get on the court again, bro. Right. We'll figure out how we'll get the players paid and all that, but you already stepped off the court. Already stepped off.
Maybe I shouldn't say it to like just give so much credit to one person, but this again goes to how legendary really LeBron is off the court. Off the court and the things that he's been able to do and the way he's been able to change things, man. Like, not single-handedly, but because of him and his power and his influence and him being the poster boy of the NBA for so long.
He's empowered players like no other.
No other. He's put so much power in the players' hands, bro. Between him like signing his 1 and 2 year contracts, him like, I want this dude, or I'm not really trying to play like that. They say like it's bad, like, oh, he ain't never picking his coach. Like, everything he's done. Some things you don't like, but everything he's done is giving power.
Contract lens, money on contracts. The main guy taking the max and making it the players' issue, the team's issue to figure out the money. But you're gonna pay me what I'm worth. I'm not gonna take a low number so the rest of these dudes can get hit over the head. And if I do take a low number, you know who else you're gonna get? 2 more dudes that's almost like me. Or else I'm not taking the low. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's gonna be the max guy until he retires. You know what I'm saying? And it's just a business move that gets everybody else more money. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? He's just been, man. And he's made players feel like he's part of it. Social media and other stuff has played a part too. But the players feeling like they can even do some shit like this. Think about how powerful Jordan was. And he didn't feel like he could do this. They say he's had the most power of any player. And that dude didn't feel like he could sit out some games and make a statement and do some stuff, whether he wanted to or not. Part of it is you didn't feel like you could. You thought it'd be the end for you if you did some stuff like that. LeBron like, this ain't gonna be managers. LeBron, it's not gonna be there. Stop that, bro. You take me out the league, then what? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It's like,
they're not removing Braun.
Yeah, no, and they can't. He's too good. You know what I'm saying? He's too powerful at this point. I'm so powerful, I put my man on, and he's one of the most powerful people in his space now. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, think about it. You know what I'm saying? KD hurt, Steph hurt. Come on, man. This has been my TV show for the last 17 years anyway. Now a couple of my co-stars get hurt. We still popping, dog.
That's a fact.
Pandemic, we still popping, baby. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, that's crazy.
Players got a huge opportunity right now. I mean, just everything that everybody's been saying. Did y'all see Charles Barkley's words? Mm-mm. Yeah, Charles Barkley. I did. Yeah, Charles Barkley was like, man, I'm talking for all the people that's told to, like, do the right thing, all this, and don't nothing change in their neighborhood. I'm talking about the poor kids. I'm talking about the people that they live a good life. They're good people, but it don't never seem like there's no change for them. Don't not do that stuff. We're working towards something. You know what I'm saying? It was pretty much his message. Mm-hmm. But it's like, that's the real. That's the real.
Oh, yeah.
When you hear LeBron James, one of the most powerful people, one in his realm, he's the most powerful person, and then one of the most notable athletes across the world, he could do whatever he wants. He's talking about he's scared. You got Doc Rivers, a grown man who's seen a lot, bro, on TV, getting emotional. When's the last time you've seen so many men on camera just getting emotional? It's because this is their life, bro. And now they've I've seen somebody say, we stop playing so you can't get away from your racist like existence. You know what I'm saying? It's like you use us to get away from real life. No, it's really racist out here. I said you're gonna watch this TV show, this NBA thing. Now we're gonna stop, and the Bucks are gonna come out here and give a statement.
Especially with them starting the game so early.
Yeah, you know what I'm
That's
saying.
why I liked JR's tweet. It was dope. He said, "Oh, you didn't." Something about.
Oh, you didn't hear us? Now you're not gonna see.
Can't see us.
Yeah.
That was dope.
Yeah. It's a huge opportunity, man. Like the NBA is gonna have to commit to some stuff. Like you see, Naomi Osaka, the tennis player, she was in the semifinals of her tournament. She's in solidarity. Kenny Smith walked off the set. Like it's what a sports show is gonna talk about. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? The NBA bubble was it. It was the main thing. Like, you could talk about some other stuff, but this is one of your mainstays was back playing. Yeah. And if it ain't started yet.
Baseball's not having games either.
Not baseball's having games, but
not all of them.
Yeah. That's why I think this is a real sign of things changing. Like the NBA. First of all, before I go on what I was about to say, I think it's dope that the NBA and that Hoopers are the ones that are like leading this charge that's going on. I think that's super dope.
For also players know how to power.
That's true. That's true.
Know how to leverage.
Dang, I forgot what I was about to say. But no. I think that's what I was gonna say. I think that's like everything that's going on is like a culmination or like a sign of like things are actually about to start changing. Because like the NBA, the fact that they're leading this in a bubble, like everything is like concentrated into like this one area. You know what I'm saying? And it wasn't like a thing to where they were already about to take the court and there's 2 days. You know what I'm saying? Like it's back to back. Like I feel like if there was games in multiple arenas, one of the games might have been played. You never know. You know what I'm saying? And then
like
also,
baseball,
right? And then also you never know, or the fact that Jacob Blake didn't die. And he just got shot in the back 7 times and he didn't die. You know what I'm saying? Like I think he's gonna live to tell his story, and the fact that like I wasn't even a part of whatever they got called here for. I wasn't even a part of that. They didn't even need to stop me. Like the fact that he lived to tell his story, the fact that like all the attention on the NBA and the bubble, like I think it's all like just a sign of like
the WNBA, exactly, all of it,
like
yeah.
Everything that's happening, the stuff that happened before this, like
the pandemic,
the protesting in the street. I think all this is just one big gumbo of like, things are finally are probably about to start changing. You know what I'm saying? And I really think, and I was telling Mom, I think the fact that Jacob Blake didn't die is like really, really like a sign from God, like God saying like, yo, like enough.
Hold on. Enough.
You know what I'm saying? Like enough. Like it's time. Like we're done dying. That's what that sign is. Like we're done dying. Enough. So I really that's what it feels like to me. That's what it feels like to me.
I feel like we made more headway than we ever have. I feel like the whole world. I feel like the whole world's on board, but the people that we really need to change are on Capitol Hill, or at the heads of these businesses. It's a system. You know what I'm saying? The system needs to change. They're allowed to do this. Hell yeah, way more people care. Way more people seems like they're fighting with us, or at least on the right side of what they're supposed to say. But like I said, Breonna Taylor's murderers have not been charged. You know what I'm saying? It's like more people care, but it's like y'all still doing the same shit. Yeah. They still dudes are still getting paid leave while y'all investigate, and then y'all stash them somewhere else, so they gotta change precincts or do whatever, and then they back on the job, ready to kill again. Like nothing ever happened. You know what I'm saying? It's like, yeah,
that's too crazy.
As a lifetime basketball fan, I make money off of basketball. It was just proud to see them do that. It was just like we've worked ourselves into a position where we have the leverage to where we could say, nope, for whatever reason we want, we choose to make it the big ones. We could do this all the time. Somebody gets shot every day. Mm-hmm. We could do this all the time, but we came out here and we played while shit was going on. We left our families. Nah, bro. Show us what you're willing to do now. Shout out, man. Shout out to NBA, all them players, bro. Shout out to the Milwaukee Bucks, bro.
While we're doing shout outs, I always forget to do Thriving While Black, so I'm gonna do it right now while I'm talking about it. 2 black owned, I want to know if you heard about this. 2 black owned banks just merged to form a $1 billion lender, the largest black owned bank in the U.S. So 2 black-owned banks, City First in Washington, D.C. and Broadway Financial Corporation in L.A. announced today that they have merged, and this is yesterday, the 26th. Yeah. And did y'all know that yesterday was exactly 4 years to the day when Kaepernick first sat down?
I saw it on
the
ground.
Like, that's crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Now the NFL get it.
So yesterday, the 2 banks announced that they had entered into a transformational merger of equal agreements to create the largest black-owned bank in the nation with more than $1 billion in combined assets under management and approximately $850 million in total depository institutional assets. Combining the 2 institutions will increase their collective commercial lending capacity for investments in multifamily affordable housing, which is dope, small businesses and nonprofit development in financially underserved urban areas, while creating a national platform for impact investors.
Yeah, shout out.
Brian, I don't know how to say this name, Argrit, chief executive of City First, will be the chief executive. Okay, I don't need to read all that. But yeah, I was trying to shout these 2 names out. I can do the research on that.
That is
that's a real life power move.
That's a big move, a huge move, and something that even on a smaller scale we need more of. All of us linking up, putting our talents together, putting our viewerships, you know what I'm saying, what you're building on your own, you could do more with somebody else. And why wouldn't you, if you're gonna do that with somebody that looks like you, thinks like you, is you, has the same moral compass as you,
same culture.
Same culture as you. And it's like, if we don't build ourselves up, who is? You know what I'm saying? Like you said, man, it feels like we made more headway than ever. And hopefully we can make the change that we need, but I know for me, this shit has to stop happening. I don't want to see that shit fire, bro. I love hearing that kind of shit. Yeah. And I want to hear more of that, less of this other stuff, bro. That shit makes me feel good. You know what I mean?
All right, well, tell me how this will make you feel if you were working here. 20-year-old Detroit woman initially pronounced dead, found alive at local funeral home.
Oh my goodness gracious.
A very bizarre occurrence recently took place at a Detroit funeral home that sounds straight out of a horror movie. A local woman who was initially pronounced dead was discovered to be very much alive after she started breathing while inside the funeral home. Employees at a Detroit funeral home made the shocking discovery. The woman was found breathing hours after she was declared dead by paramedics and sent to the mortuary by her grieving family.
What the?
The woman, whose identity has not been publicly released, was found alive on August 23rd. Should I shout out the name of the funeral home? Yeah, it ain't their fault. At the James H. Cole Funeral Home and then taken to a hospital, according to local authorities. The woman was declared dead by paramedics who responded to a home in the Detroit suburb of Southfield around 7:35. Following the call.
So wait a minute. The paramedics, they didn't take her to the hospital?
Chief Johnny L. His last name is Menifee. Chief Johnny L. Menifee of the Southfield Fire Department said in a statement. He also confirmed that the woman was not breathing when paramedics arrived at her home. The paramedics performed CPR and other life-reviving methods for 30 minutes, Menifee said. Given medical readings and the condition of the patient, it was determined at the time that she did not click. Oh, okay, it's a click the link to the thing. Yeah, man.
So wait, they did not take her to the hospital, straight to the mortuary?
That's what it sounds like.
They can do that?
Found this is I can understand how there's nothing going on with her body. Look, I've only been around I've only been around death but so many times like that. You know what I'm saying? What has always happened, but I've always been around. Yeah. Once they died in the home, once they passed in the hospital. The hospital kept them there. It was like they were making sure. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
She could have.
And then when they died in the home, they came and got her.
She could be Jewish. I watch Forensic Files all the time, and I just learned watching an episode of Forensic Files that in Jewish custom they try to bury you like literally the next day. Like they want you. They try to bury you.
They try to put you to rest.
Yeah, because it also said by her grieving family.
Like a dude tried to get away with murdering his wife that way in the episode of Forensic Files. He's because they knew they were Jewish customs. He's like, kill her. They should go put her in the ground the next day. They won't be able to. But the coroner that was going over the body was like, nah, fam, something's fishy. I need some more time. And the family was like, word, okay. And found out that dude ended up killing his wife. But yeah, she could be Jewish. Like I said, the name didn't get released. That's why I was like, when I get to the name, I could try to figure out like what ethnicity.
They said hours later though.
Yeah.
Perform CPR for 30 minutes.
Yeah.
I know, but hours later she's at the mortuary though.
Breathing.
What did she get prepped for her? Get prepped for the casket? Like,
well, no, like they're at the mortuary to get prepped for the casket and all that.
Was she in the cold tank? Where's she at?
But that's what I'm saying. Who was? All right, bro. So y'all threw her in the joint and was like, "Oh, she gone." Like, let her family know we about to take her down the block.
Start pushing this papers. Get this stuff finalized.
Because usually
because
But I mean, goodness gracious.
Remember when Tahiti was working at the mortuary right there by Mount Olive, and she said the dude pushing he had the body in the elevator. He said the body sat up. This nigga said he started screaming, banging on the buttons in the elevator. Nigga ran out, never came back.
Yeah. I can't. Just in case.
I'd have felt terrible, but
imagine that on
what you mean? What? Yeah.
Hey, imagine on camera though, you the security guard watching that on the camera.
Hey, look,
bro,
and they would understand.
What you gonna do if a zombie attack you, man? Oh,
you gonna wait for him to actually turn up and come at you?
That's what I'm saying. He's
sitting up.
She's still over his face. I'm holding him down. I'm holding him down till I get out there. I'm lumping him up. That's for sure. I'm holding him down until I can get up out of this.
Can sit up,
yeah, that's real.
Because I know they can fart, and sometimes you even like
they're releasing.
Muscle
all those gap. True, I haven't thought of that.
Muscles relax and tighten and all type of stuff. Look, bro.
That's what I'm saying. That's what really happens. But natural instinct. I'm over here in a different mindset. Yeah, you getting punched out like that. He was probably over there just relaxing, thinking about something totally different. His mind was probably on what he having for lunch later.
And he's not tripping about being around a dead body. Yeah. That's his job.
Yeah,
you know
it's his job.
What?
Breaking news. What is that? Read it out loud, please.
Multiple NFL teams cancel practice to focus on social justice. The Colts, the Jets, and the Washington football team.
They're smart.
They got to.
Yeah.
They got to all social issues right now.
Their games haven't started yet.
Yeah.
We'll see. Their games haven't started yet.
Practice.
This will be the NFL's way to be like, look, when it was going on, we stopped what we were doing. But now it's time to get this money. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
let the NFL start players. Let the NFL start. This is how y'all get your power for the long game.
Yeah.
This is how you get your power with the long game. Aaron, Pat. You know Pat with it. You know what I'm saying? Look, Aaron, Pat, Lamar, Tom.
Someone asked me on the game, they're like, you want to see Drew doing that? I said, fuck no. Drew could be along with us, but don't be out here talking, bro. Go stand next to Mahomes or go stand in the back.
But we need you on this too.
Yeah,
no, we need you on this, Drew, because if you play,
I'm not gonna believe.
If you play, a lot of them gotta. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'd come out here for 3 weeks if I'm the NFL players. I'd be talking, text messaging, what? Just the stars. Look, the rest of y'all, some of y'all don't rock with us. Don't matter.
Yeah,
don't matter. You're not gonna find another Pat Mahomes, bro. It's not gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not gonna happen. Not anytime soon.
Yeah.
When y'all got a story, you gotta have it. You gotta go come with it right now. But when y'all got a story, don't be real.
Yeah, I got one I can share right now.
Other topics.
I got one I can share right now.
I was telling a story I should have told last week when Joe's ass was here.
Oh yeah. I'll go first though. Hey, so remember when we was driving and I had just got the my charger, and I'm over here whipping, stunting, got the windows down, the music playing, driving around. What was it, Oceanside Boulevard?
Yeah.
We was dipping through that, and you know what I mean. I'm trying to be cool, Mo G, make a right hand turn, nice and smooth. I hit the curb, and what that dude say? These two niggas was standing on the curb, looking.
He hit the curb, and son was close. Like he felt like it might have been over for.
Yeah, he thought I was gonna clip you.
Yeah, he said what he say? He said, "Oh, nigga can't drive."
He said, "Oh, shit, niggas need to learn how to drive."
He said, "Oh, niggas need to learn how to drive."
Like implying, like, damn, this nigga that went out and got this
nice
big
ass car. He know how to drive this big old car. I know you having fun of your shit, but watch out.
Yeah, damn. Hey, granted, I don't know. I think I was just looking too far ahead or something. I wasn't really paying attention.
You was mashing. He was mashing.
Driving bars. It
he was driving like a regular sized car.
Yeah.
Cause he was like, oh, this niggas need to learn how to drive.
Shit, niggas need to learn. And it was like my windows was down, so like I heard him talk. Like we heard him talking. He stopped, jumped. He's like, oh shit, niggas need to learn how to drive.
I'll tell my story at the end, but did you want to talk about the stuff in the? Yeah, from the Joe Budden pod. Shit, how do you want to talk about this?
Joe's the big homie. That's how we can start this time.
Yeah, Uncle Joe Budden.
If you a content creator, and more specifically, if you a podcaster,
yes,
that's Uncle Joe.
If you're a podcaster and you're not listening to what he's saying because it's such a new space, you don't have to be getting money, right? We're not making money from this. You know what I'm saying? But you should be aware of what's going on. You're making a pod. Let's say it pops. You know what I'm saying? You should understand this. But Joe Budden and the Joe Budden podcast, everybody, Maul, Rory Parks, everybody works in the background, have been number one on Spotify for 2 years. Spotify's made other acquisitions. They've got other podcasts. They've got other big names. Bill Simmons being one of those. They haven't outperformed them.
Joe Rogan as well.
Yeah, Joe Rogan's hasn't started though.
Okay.
Yeah. And now their deal's coming up, but they got 6 more episodes.
Something like that.
And it doesn't seem like they're gonna get a deal done. And it seems like it's because they want to take too much control. I listen to Joe Budden a lot. I listen to a lot of podcasts. I listen to a lot of people talk about podcasts. You don't want to not be in control of your product, bro. You created it. They come and buy it and tell you what to do. That gives up all your leverage. Yeah. And pretty much what Joe Budden is saying is because they know that the Joe Budden podcast is hot. He said, one, the money it's a huge number, but it's not enough. And 2, they want to own everything that everybody's doing on the podcast. Like Rory does stuff outside of that. Maul, Parks, they want to own all of it. So if you put out an album, we want to have rights to it. If Joe comes back from rapping, we want to put you in a Spotify exclusive.
Love and hip hop deals.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Kind of thing.
They be signing their life away on love and hip hop deals.
That's why did a lot of those new actors on Empire that were like on the show singing and stuff. Like Empire owns the rights to all. If you go anywhere and perform any of them songs that you sung on the show, Empire owns that. You make your own album, Empire get a piece of it.
Because you sung on here and got that.
Puff's was really I'll Be Short's son, but I'll Be Short. Puff's oldest son Quincy, he was supposed to be on the show Empire, but he saw that deal and was like, "Why would I do that?" And was like, "Nah, I'm cool."
Yeah.
Like, for what?
And that's because he's in the know. Yeah. His dad is somebody in the know. He is in the know. But that's what I'm saying. It's important to listen to people like the Joe Budden podcast. I know me as a Spotify subscriber, the only reason I subscribe there is because of the Joe Budden podcast. If they're not there, I don't know if I am there. And that's pretty much like the fight they're going through. Oh, you don't get how our audience moves. You think they came over here, they're just going to stay here. Huh? They came over here from YouTube. SoundCloud. Hey. I don't know. I don't know what they're going to do when we leave, but they followed us all this time. They made us number one.
I'm telling you, bro, while I was listening to that, like I told y'all off there, I typed the message to you. I was like, yo, go listen to the Joe Budden podcast and let me know if we should still keep our content on Spotify. Like, let me know if y'all want to still do that.
I think everything is...
It's situational for everybody.
It's situational for everybody. We're in a space where we're trying to get people here. Being everywhere that we could possibly be. At one point... beneficial for us. Yeah. You're able to access everybody. Once, let's say we have 100,000 people watching this, or 1 million people watching this, or 1,000 people watching this, and people are coming at us like, "Oh, bring your content here. Oh, you want my 1,000 people audience? Okay, for sure. What's it gonna cost you? You know what I'm saying? But until you have that, you know what I mean. You kind of got to play the game. You got to be out everywhere. You got to, like politicians, you got to shake hands. And they don't do all that shit after they get elected. They do that shit to get elected. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I'm gonna go out. I'm gonna touch the people. I'm gonna see the people. Nah.
And Blaze and I were talking about that on Saturday morning, like when I was still at his house. He was talking about like the whole beef that, well, I was about to say a little mini beef, but the beef that Joe and Gilly had. Gilly was like, oh, you on Spotify, like the white man owns your IP and all this and that. I'm like, I was telling Blaze, I was like, I don't think Gilly understands the fight that Joe's been fighting. I think he just understands.
And nobody owns that podcast.
I think he just understands how Spotify works.
Yeah.
Because like for somebody like for clarity, like for us, Spotify does like any episode we put on Spotify, Spotify does own it. If they ever thought something sounded dope, any little sound clip they wanted, they could cut it out, put it on a commercial, and start making money from it, and we wouldn't see a dime of it.
Yeah.
Like they do own it. But that's for somebody like us who, like you said, we're at a position where
we just want to be on their DSP.
We're just trying to get to as many ears as possible. That's why our podcast is on every streaming platform and on YouTube. We're just trying to get to as many ears as possible. We just want everybody to hear us.
And we'll take all those numbers and then try to move them.
Right. Right, exactly. But for somebody like Joe, who I've been doing 1 million plus 2 days a week for 2 years, I'm not really, you know what I'm saying?
Before that, to be clear, we were doing this for 5 years before you guys showed up. And we got popping, and you were like, "Oh, we need that."
I'm quite sure
to get y'all popping.
I'm quite sure Joe didn't walk into Spotify just like, "Oh yeah, we're just gonna give you all our content, and you just own everything."
Yeah, and he's made sure, and I mean, he's been very vocal that that's not the case. You know what I mean? It's an exclusive deal. They'll only air there. Yeah, they'll only air there for the next 2 years. A day later, we'll post a video because you own the audio, and I was actually breaking that down to Bird. I was like, "There's people that own what's going on live." And then to play it somewhere else, somebody owns that footage. Mm-hmm. It doesn't always mean, you know what I'm saying? Like when that footage comes to YouTube, you're hearing the same thing, but the visual is what Spotify doesn't own.
Yeah, that's why.
You know what I'm saying? They don't own none of it. You know what I'm saying? Not let me misquote. They don't own none of that. But their deal is for them. They're the first people that audio comes out with. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And then if it gets played, if clips get busted down and and all that other stuff, I hope y'all had to deal with all them because you know what I'm saying. Our deal was just to drop it first here. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Knowledge is really powerful.
Yeah.
Knowledge is really powerful. Once you know, like once you don't ever just dive into anything and just do it
fast.
Well, definitely not half-assed, but you don't just dive into anything without, even if you do dive in without a full understanding, while you're doing it, you should be constantly gaining more understanding. Yeah. Because I didn't know nothing about any analytics to any podcast or anything when we first started doing this. I was just like, I want to do a podcast, so we bought some mics. I already had a camera, so we bought some mics, and we started doing a podcast. And then I started paying attention to stuff, and then some people was like, "Oh, this y'all pretty good. Y'all should start trying to." And then you start looking at other ways to make it better. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But along the way, my point for bringing that up was I didn't know anything about anything really. But I don't know a lot about it, but I have way more information than I had before. Yeah. And I know enough right now to where if we did have an audience to where we could start making money from this podcast, I know enough to where we would still own everything. Nobody would be getting I'm sure we all do know enough to where like nobody's going to be getting the majority of the money that would come. You know what I'm saying? Like knowledge is power, bro.
Yeah.
Knowledge is power. And also part before you chime in, a part of that knowledge is also empowering yourself. So you can know how everything works. But if you don't have, and it's not everybody can really put themselves in that situation, but if you don't have the means to go ahead and just do it yourself, then you're even in even worse shape as if you didn't have the knowledge. Because now you have the knowledge, but you don't have the means to empower yourself, and it's like I gotta go in there and kind of play by their rules until I get it to where I could do it by myself. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. And
like you said, every situation is different. Their situation is on a very large scale. You know what I'm saying? He's talking about money he's never seen, never even been close to, and he has to turn it down for control. Because once they have control, they pay you the money. Now I own it. Now you can't tell me to do shit. Morals. And the next time this deal is up or whatever, I'm in control. You know what I mean? It's just, I don't know, man. Salutes to the Joe Budden podcast. Like, if you're listening to this and you listen to that podcast, tweet, do whatever you got to do. Tell Spotify to do the right thing because I ain't gonna hold you. I gotta if they're not there, I gotta make a real tough decision. And y'all know how much music I listen to.
Come on over the title, man.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm gonna be wherever the Joe Budden podcast is. I listen to it like that. Like, I listen to Bomani Jones and he's on ESPN. If he's not on ESPN, I'm still listening to Bomani Jones. ESPN's Bomani Jones. I don't care where he's at. I don't care.
Speaking of your audience moving with you, shout out to everybody that rock with the Family Room podcast.
Yeah, shout out.
Facts.
Bro, you don't know.
Facts.
Fam, granted, he's our cousin, but he didn't always listen to the podcast. He didn't.
Yeah.
Like, when I first started doing that, especially when I was doing a podcast by myself, of like, what you think, bro? He was like, I ain't gonna lie, bro. I listened to like the first 10 minutes. I can't listen to that shit. Like, you sound bored. It ain't fun to listen to. Like,
yeah.
Like, I might press play just so you get a click, so you see a number go up. But to be real, like, I don't really be listening like that. You know what I'm saying? And we was out there Saturday morning. We got to Blaze's house. Or no, Saturday when we got there, he was like, hey, bro, your video didn't upload. I was like, huh? And I already knew it wasn't up there because I was late getting the footage from you. I was like uploading it on the way to Palmdale. He was like, bro, the podcast ain't on YouTube. I was like, yeah, I know, bro. He was like, man, I went to watch it this morning. I was like, yo, what's going on? And Rod said something. Oh, and the day I posted the audio, Rod was like, hey, man, it cut off at 30 minutes from me, bro. Like, what's going on? I'm like, yo, that's dope.
Yeah, we be talking to Rod on there. He'd be like, yeah, bro. It'll be like this morning. I'm on with Jesse. Everybody like, oh, bro, you gotta go record right today, Thursday, right? I'm like, yeah, bro, I gotta dip. Like, people on shit. Niggas be like, yo, yeah, do that. Go ahead, do that. Yeah, all the love and support is dope, man. All the love and support is fire, bro. Absolutely fire, man.
And any appearances, feed-ins, call-ins are accepted. We will appease the audience.
I've been telling people too, it's gonna start happening soon enough. I'll be telling people like, hey, man, call in sometime. We record on Thursdays between like 10 and 1. Call in, man. You'll be on the pod. You'll hear yourself.
Ooh, I can find a way to mirror it on the TV, so where you could sit here, a virtual reality type. Yeah, I could do that.
They probably won't be able to see us though.
Yeah, they like on my phone. They'd see us on my phone, and then it would mirror to the TV.
Yeah, but I mean, all the love and support is dope. I didn't have a whole bunch to talk about, to be honest. I wanted to get off the NBA shit. Like I was telling my wife, it's hard for me to talk about anything else when like these people keep on getting shot out here, bro. It's like all I think about is like all this shit.
Okay.
I said,
what
do
you guys use to escape? What have you done recently to step away from the madness? Because I've recently, I find little projects to jump into. You know what I mean?
Go ahead, my bad.
Sorry, the little project that I just jumped into, I created a fish tank. You know what I mean? It was my first one. I figured, the water, the sounds. I sleep with the water and sounds, you know what I mean, naturally, to give me more pleasant sleep. But now I can create and I can hear that sound in tunes throughout the day. And it's a real humbling thing. You know what I mean? Getting lost in, like, the fish, them motherfuckers is everywhere, boy. Fish is something else. But yeah, it's a therapeutic experience. You know what I mean? I enjoy it.
It's super calming and super, like, because for me, like, as a kid, when I would watch fish, it was mainly at the doctor's office. Like, you were watching fish, and for me, like, it's almost like when I watch my son, I'd be like, I see him, like, do something, like, I wonder what this nigga's thinking right now. So when I'm watching the fish and they be doing something, I'm like, what are these niggas doing? And you get, like, fully caught up in watching them, like, what's going on? Like, you know what I mean? For me, that's how I do it.
Yeah, I got stuck for 2 hours.
That's dope.
First time I got him. Put him in there, dropped him, fed him, and I was, like, stuck.
I escape by I either just try to play with my son unless he's too busy watching TV and don't want to be bothered with me, or I try to like go outside and play with my cameras. Just try to shoot some content, play with different angles, and especially now I got like two. I got like cages for my cameras now, so I can like move and walk and get more steady shots. So I just go outside, play with the cameras, do something like that. Try to edit old footage, maybe try to like come up with something new.
It's a good way to get in the zone.
Gaming, I dive into my work, basketball stuff. I mean, I've always watched shows with wifey, but really gaming. I wasn't, to be honest. Y'all know how I gamed. I played the games. It got to a point to where, for me, it was occasional, but I'm full back in it. The pandemic's got something to do with that, but it is for me an escape from all this wild shit going on out here. You know what I mean? And also, I'm actually planning and getting ready for the future too, man. Trying to be ready for whatever this shit's gonna look like when we come out this pandemic. That's what I've really been putting a lot of the energy towards.
That was one thing I wanted to speak on, man. You said the future. I was thinking about it on the way here. It's crazy for me that, like, I think last time I was here, you were talking about how, like, that, like, this COVID, this, like, new normal that they talk about is going to be, like, just Barron's normal.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That's going to be crazy. Bearing a mask.
My kids are 4 and 3 months, and this is just gonna.
He's not gonna know a life outside of a mask.
Make sure you put a mask on when you go out. No big crowds. Probably won't go to an amusement park ever.
Concerts,
movie theaters. It's just different. So
stuff we grew up with.
Like between prepping, not prepping because it's gonna be their normal, but like teaching my boys about like protecting themselves from COVID, and then also just
being black
and how society is crazy, bro. It's crazy, bro. I really started to think about it when LeBron after the Laker game, when LeBron was like being African American and having black sons, and I was like, dang, that's real. And then also on the way here, I was thinking about just the last time I was here and how you said the COVID thing. It's wild, bro.
It's unfortunate. Like my nephew, he's getting all his schooling from a tablet. Like he gotta take pictures of his. He gotta draw like a picture of his mom and dad and everything, and then take a picture and send it in. So you turn it into your assignments now. Like I don't know.
The human element is gone.
Yeah, I
it's
always
100% gone with this.
I was never one to do homework. Right, I did excellent in school. That's why I always maintained good enough grades to be on the basketball team. But I still don't understand the point of doing homework, the same homework that I did in class. But anyway, when I received my papers back, knowing that my teacher actually took the time to correct it and get whatever grade I deserved for it, I felt some type of satisfaction in that, knowing that somebody took the time to look over this. Now they're just looking, okay, he did it, box checked. Okay, this grade, like there's no real judging of
the human element,
and especially this first crop of kids that are going through this.
Oh yeah,
these teachers have never done it before,
and they're working out all the kinks.
And I follow just because I used to be a teacher. Like I still follow a couple of teachers that I've never met before. Just clicking hashtags online, and they talk about like how crazy this is, and like getting used to it, and like.
So wifey's a teacher. This shit is crazy.
Right. So
this shit is crazy.
This first group of kids that are going through this, their teachers are all over the place. Their teachers are. I think it's going to be a couple of school years before these teachers are fully comfortable in this and can slow it down enough. And then also maybe times will change to where like half the class is actually in the building and the other half is at home, and it'll be easier. But this first group of kids that's doing,
I think we'll get
track system. Remember when we used to be on green track, orange track, and all that? That's gonna have to come back.
I think that they'll get back. I think that we'll get back to kids on campuses, but campus life will be different forever. I don't think it's not reasonable for long term educate and test kids without them being able to touch the person and sit down and have a talk with them. And I could sit down and have a Zoom. I could sit down and have a Zoom and tell you I don't understand something. It's different when you're in the room and you can really see how much I'm struggling with it. Teachers are not and just the social aspect of school. You know what I'm saying? Absolutely. I got more from that than I did from any lesson they gave me. All this incomplete history and all this bullshit that they giving me in school. Dad used to tell me all the time that he was jealous of us because we had these personalities and this stuff, and it just seems like people attract to us. Not bragging on us. That's the way we was raised. They raised us. You know what I'm saying? But you don't get that without being around people. You got kids right now struggling. Some kids, their home life is not good. The only good place for them is their school.
Like
I've coached kids like that.
I'm not gonna use any names or say exactly who it was, but just when we was up at Palmdale, kid up there went crazy when playtime was over. You never know. That might have been his first time outside in months.
And months on months.
You never know. You gotta listen to your mom.
Yeah.
But you never know. That could have been his first time out of the house. It's like, bro, it's a water slide out here.
And that's a kid. It probably felt like a year.
You know what I'm saying? Especially when it's my family. I know them. Like they outside all the time. Like she's one of them moms. Like you a boy, go play.
Yeah.
And so when you go from outside all the time and now you inside for months and now you at a water slide and it's like, whoa, I thought I was gonna get to do this for at least another hour. You said get down.
I'm an adult, and people say I'm a homebody now, but you ain't no homebody if you're a coach. You're not.
Okay.
You're out of your house. I'm used to being gone, going to a game, going here, going there, going to a meeting, going to CIF hearings, whatever it is. I'm not used to being in a house like this. And I've had to create a space in my house that is my space, that only I come in here, and when this door's closed, leave me alone. If you see the LED lights, I'm on this. Leave me alone.
Leave me alone.
You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
And And that's been a struggle. And I'm not a kid. And I could do whatever I want. Me and wifey, we was feeling a little claustrophobic a little while back. You know what we did? We just drove down the beach. We didn't get out. We didn't talk to nobody. We just drove. We wanted to see it. We wanted to get out of the walls of our house.
Want to smell the ocean.
Yeah. Rolled all the windows down. Drove as fast as we could down Coast Highway. Felt great. Kids ain't got that luxury. Oh, mama, there's a play area in my building. Motherfuckers taped off. It might be dangerous over there for you. What, the playground? Like, it's crazy, bro.
I understand that. Lorenzo and I were talking about that when I interviewed him. It's like, even like me and Dio go to work out at the RV park. They got the little stuff out there. And Baron come out, we bring him out there, so they run around, get out the house. I'm like, no, you can't. It's closed. He's like, why is it closed, bro? It's a park. Like, it's
and it's still there.
I'm looking at it. I'm like, nah, you see the tape? He's like, bro, we can get through that tape easy. Like, what you mean it's closed? Yeah. You know what I mean?
Speaking of Lorenzo, I guess when everything is finalized, we could talk about the opportunity we have in a little while, right?
Yeah, let's wait until.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. But
That's just how my luck works, bro.
Yeah, exciting things on the horizon.
Absolutely.
Shout out Lorenzo.
I've been trying to figure out a way for you to come and be real.
Shout out Lorenzo.
Shout out for sure.
Shout out to the big homie Lorenzo. Me and wife have talked about this. It's like, this is the kind of shit that it's like, it's like, why would I have a kid right now? You know what I'm saying? Like, in my mind, I don't, not even just like, oh, look at the times where I'm having a hard enough time coping with this. Mm-hmm. And it's just me, and Derek's been in and out the whole pandemic. You know what I mean? He got to do his thing. He got to go get to his family or do, you know what I'm saying? And it's been me and wifey in the house, and there's been times where I don't have enough energy for what I'm going through, let alone what she going through, and she ain't got enough energy for what she going through, let alone what I'm going through, and we got to somehow find a way to be there for each other in the middle of this. Mm-hmm. I would be no good to a kid right now.
It takes a lot of work.
And you know what I'm saying? Like, mom tell me shit like, you find the strength and da-da-da-da-da and all this other stuff, and I believe that. I've seen it. You know what I'm saying? But to me, it's crazy. I feel for the parents. I feel for the kids. I feel for these educators, man, because I see what my wife going through. This shit is, like, giving her serious anxiety trying to get ready to do this shit. Now they talking about, like, all the teachers got to come back into the school and do their work there because people complain about Wi-Fi connections, and they got the kids at home and all this other stuff. It's like, how can you expect me? What are you talking about? My daycare's not even open.
I seen a bunch of systems was crashing first day because so many people was on them.
Yep.
School systems.
There's no way that they could be ready for this. Mm-mm. How do you do standardized testing like this?
Can't.
And ensure that they're not
it's
cheating.
An open book. It's damn near open book. It's an open book test.
And if they fail it, who do you blame? You blame the kid? I didn't ask for this. It's an iPad in my face. One, y'all didn't give me one. I don't have internet, yo. I don't have a computer, yo.
All of that stuff's gonna have to be cheap or doggone free. Because in California, you don't pay for school, so therefore, y'all got to give me this free then. And if I pay for school, it become part of the package.
I can't go to that Starbucks every day.
Yeah, with my kid. Tell them to do their homework. I got to go to work. It's been to the
point to where, look, the AD, we had a meeting with the AD at the school I work at. And he said that the first week, so they're shutting down sports they're shutting down, like, we've had stipulations and you could get with your teams and all these stipulations. Wear the mask 10 feet apart, no more than 12 people in a group. No, can't share balls, can't share equipment, all of that, right?
Can't share a ball.
And they said that this distance learning is going to be so difficult for these kids. For the first 2 weeks that they're back in school, no coach can have contact with them. Mm. They said, we encourage you guys to practice, to get your practices in, to do your distance practicing, your social distance practicing. Every kid starts their online class at 8 o'clock. If they are not there and their excuse is, I had practice in the morning, his words, I don't want to talk to you about that. I don't know how all the other coaches took that as. I took it as, don't get your ass fired.
Yeah. Because I'm not having that conversation. I'm just let you go.
I'm going to help you out. I'm not going to have that conversation. You're going to be talking to the dude that run the school. Mm-hmm. And he's going to be letting you know that your services are no longer needed. You know what I'm saying? It's like, this is going to be such a change for them, dog. Like one of the seniors on my basketball team sent me her senior letter that she was gonna read to all the kids and stuff at the banquet because she was like, "Man, you get a chance to do this." You know what I'm saying? Like regular things. Think about how much we look forward to our graduation, bro.
Yeah.
That's a milestone in your life. You worked this whole time to be celebrated for all that you've done at this institution for this amount of time. Sometimes you celebrate with your friends. You're going to do whatever you're going to do. Ripped away from you. Matter of fact, don't go near nobody. Don't go near nobody. You might die. Some kids
validate their whole childhood off of graduating.
That's facts. For some people, it's a big milestone in a family. Mm-hmm. You might be the first one that had done this.
Mm-hmm. Or one of very few.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Or like the one of the girls on my team that was a senior. It's nothing. Everybody in her family has a degree. You know what I'm saying? This is just part of the road. But it is something they stop and celebrate. She's a basketball player. She want to be celebrated for her basketball. You know what I'm saying? And her thing was, I don't get to celebrate with these people that I may not. Some of them I'm never going to see again. Mm-hmm. This is a small town. I grew up with these people from knee high. And now we're all about to graduate, go do our own thing. She's taking off to school. You know what I'm saying? It's like so much has been taken away. Like, and I don't know. It just makes me mad. Like, hey, but we gotta vote because we gotta get somebody in here who knows what to do, or at least got a better idea than this motherfucker. It just don't make no sense, man. That's what I've been telling people. Are you telling me that you don't think you could do a better job than him? I know I could, cause I'm gonna listen.
LBJ for president?
No, no, oh, but
let the politicians be the politicians.
I'm just kidding.
Well, let's get the right ones in there. Let's definitely not get a reality TV star. Like what? I don't even expect him to. I don't expect him to incite hate because I wouldn't expect that from any other president. But I don't know. I never expect him to do well. I didn't think he was gonna do good. I don't think that that's a job where you can do good. People are always gonna be mad, but you can't do this bad.
The fact that people actually still follow and listen to him is annoying, bro. It's highly annoying. That leads you right into my story about Jesse. So Jesse, people that don't know Jesse like that, this nigga Jesse is like one of the coolest people you'll ever meet. Like,
oh my,
super cool. Always down the ride. He don't never really get too high or low about nothing. Don't really offer opinions unless you ask him. He just be chilling. I don't care, bro. I don't care. It's chill.
It's whatever, bro. We could do it.
But he's not good with being annoyed. If you annoy him, that's when he's for sure going to speak up. I know you don't know what I'm about to get into.
I have no idea what he's talking about right now.
I don't either.
So senior year, and it's not even really a big story like that, but it sticks out to my mind because I was like, it's not you, but it's you though. So we stand senior year, we standing there. No, it might have been junior year because I think the situation that happened was with a senior. I think it was junior year. We're standing in our little area, which was kind of like central at the school. Like everybody kind of had to walk past our area.
Facts.
And it was not too far away from like, so it wasn't many black people. We were like the popular black people. And there was a lot of Mexicans and white people, but the popular white people were the ASB and the athletes, just like kind of on our side, the athletes and And so we didn't hang out too far away from like the popular like white people, right?
All the popular people hung out in the general area.
Like, it was like a black tree, and then it was like there, like it was like little walls.
And then everybody else.
And they had there. No, it was no division. Everybody was cool. But like this is our group, and we kind of politic.
Hey, you've been in high school, you know how it busts down. Right, Stop playing. We had the black trio, the white trio over there, the essays hang out over there. Yeah,
but everybody was cool talking.
But we mingled, but none for the most part.
And if you black,
and if he was on some other stuff, he was on the other side of the school.
And if you black and have only been to predominantly black schools, you wouldn't know what we're talking about the black tree. But it was like that. Like we was all.
But it's the same thing with the golf kids, or you know what I mean.
But anyway. I don't remember his first name, but his last name was Beck. His last name was Beck. Well, Glenn, that sounds familiar. I don't know, but his last name was Beck. And I remember because I was standing next to you. And I don't remember exactly what we're talking about, but I seen him because he was reaching around me. And whatever you were talking about, you're super engaged with it. Mm. And like you're talking, and he keeps like flicking your ear. And the first one, you just kind of like just showed it real quick and like got him out of there, and you just kept talking. And then it happened again, and you kind of like looked, and you kept talking. And it was like you saw who did it, but you wasn't really tripping. Like people do that. Like it's kind of annoying, but I don't know why this nigga's doing it, but whatever. No. And then the third time he did it, you had one of the muskets in your hand already rolled up for whatever reason. Remember the newspaper, the musket?
Yeah, our school newspaper was called the Musket.
Our mascot was the Patriot. Our school newspaper was called the Musket. Jesse already had one rolled up in his hand, so it had to be a Friday. And he did it again. And I remember you just stepped around me, and this dude Jesse cocked back from back here. Boom! It just unleashed on the back of this dude's neck, right? And he wasn't like a tough guy. The dude that he hit wasn't a tough guy, but he wasn't small though. He was like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I just remember like looking in Jesse's face, and I remember your face looked like, I don't really want to fight, but that shit was annoying. I had to do something.
We could do whatever you want to do now.
I
Yeah.
just took a big step back. And
I'm here now.
Like, all right, bro. Like, I try to get you out of here with this. Like, now we here. Like, what you
Yeah,
trying to do?
what you want to do? It done made me mad.
I remember thinking like Jesse kind of wild, but he's not wild. Like that's
Yeah,
him.
yeah.
He's the chillest dude, but don't annoy him though. Matter of fact, I know another time that I told you, and it sticks out to me too. It's super small, but it always sticks out to me. Because I remember when anyway, let me tell the story first. So you're at our house on Sandalwood. I'm standing by the counter, and you're sitting at the table, and we had just came back in from outside, and I'm drinking some water, some Gatorade or something, and I'm drinking, and I'm mad hot and mad thirsty, and I'm mad dramatic. I'm mad dramatic with how I'm drinking it, right? And Jesse sat there, and I remember he never said a word, but just turned and was like. And I remember, I just stopped and was like, damn, my bad. And at first, for a minute, I was like, nigga, I'm in my house. I drink this however I want. But then I was thinking, nah, if that was me, I'd have been like,
nah, that's my bag. That's my bag. I'd much rather change the energy in there than say anything. Mm-hmm. That's my bag. Somebody do something, I'll just be... I do that when we play the game. Somebody blows it up.
Again, I looked at Jesse's face and his whole face said, I want to tell you to shut the hell up, but you in your house, so I'm going to just look at you.
Look, what are you doing? You're not that thirsty.
Exactly. Like, bro, there's no way.
You've had a drink before. You're gonna have
one. I thought
that
you was just trying to do that to make me mess. I was probably.
He thought that was his last drink.
Are you trying to make me mad right now?
He thought that was his last drink.
I don't know.
Well, I'm not gonna forget. I know the story.
I just remember it was my bad. I don't remember what that happening, but I remember having that the musket in my hand, and then after I smacked that dude, that newspaper wad was bent backwards, and that's all I remember. That's all I remember because I remember that newspaper because I didn't even pick up the musket. Like I never read that shit.
I'm always that type, bro. Whenever something is not even always. I'm always looking at people. Always catch me bro. Why are you looking at me? Mm-hmm. But I'm always looking at people's face just to see how they because. That can tell you, even if people don't speak, this can tell you how people feel about a situation. So I'm always looking at people's faces, and when after he turned and saw you do that, he looked at you like, fam, I want to fight you, but that shit hurt. You got a lot of aggression in you right now.
Yeah,
I don't know if we want
that's what I'm saying.
And
if I get it there, then I'm already ready.
Yeah, I'm already turned up.
Yeah, if I didn't damn near hit you already, because I don't believe in that. I don't put my hands on nobody. I'm not that type of guy. I try to stay cool, calm, and collected. That shit.
This nigga Jesse I'll never forget. Jesse won't do nothing like that. Only I would. We played an adult league game, right? And this dude kept fouling me, bro. He kept, and it was stuff to where like this, where it's no big deal, but it's and you're not stopping me from doing what I'm doing. Fam, it's just annoying. Just slide your feet. Stop touching me. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Switch.
And he did one to where I'm dribbling, and one of the ones where he reached hella bad, and his shoulder came mad close to my head, and I had to move and lose the ball, and the ref called the foul, and so right after the ref called the foul, I grabbed the ball and threw it at the dude's head, right?
Oh my goodness!
Right, and then and to keep it real, I wanted him to do something back, so it could be a
Mike wanted to fight right there on the court.
Yeah,
exactly.
He wanted to fight right there on the court.
Exactly.
We know.
And then after the game, right, and then I think Trey was nah, he could have hurt Mike doing that. He could have hurt. I was fam, I was Jesse, would you have done that shit? He was hell no, I would have never done that, nigga. You threw the ball at his head in the middle of the game. And I just knew he was going to co-sign. He was fam, no.
Why would you do that,
fam? Your homie got to tell fam, that was wild. Don't do that.
Yeah, don't do that.
But I remember that we was in the game. I was all about it, but I was in my back of my mind. I was there's no way I would have done that.
Because you didn't look like you felt like it was a bad idea when I did it. I remember I threw the ball and I looked at him, and then you start walking closer. I'm okay, I knew Trey wasn't gonna walk up, but I'm okay, Jesse will walk up. LaShawn may or may not, I don't know, but I know Jesse gonna walk up. And after the game, he's like, nigga, hell no, I would have never done that. Don't, nah.
Because you picked it, like the ball wasn't even in your hands. Like you picked it up and then threw it at him.
Because like I said, he reached and he almost hit me. So
like bumped you. You had to let the ball go.
It was balls like bouncing away.
Like, doing that.
I was like, nah, man. But I also saw that I saw him getting in your head, and that's why I didn't think that you'd do that. That's why I was like, nah, I wouldn't have done that because I wouldn't have let him get me like that.
No, that's valid.
Yeah.
That's valid.
So my story that I should have told about our guest last week, Joe. So in high school, dudes felt like they was pretty fast. Like
facts on facts.
I know I felt like there's not 5 people in this city faster than me, fam. At one point I felt like, come on, Dougie.
Yeah.
I got wheels, bro. Right? So we're on the track team, me, Joe. Y'all didn't run track, but me and Joe was on the track team. I was the best 400 runner on the team. Right? Joe was in that top group. I'm not gonna hold you. Right, like y'all know about Evan Perkins. He had the wheels. Andrew Huerta, he had the wheels. Like our team we were fast. It wasn't the 4x1 team. It was the sprint medley team. You don't run that at every event. You only run the sprint medley at the big state runs, right? At the big state meets. So we're at the Bronco Invitational, bro. Teams from all over the country are here. Yeah. And they have the Frost Soft Sprint Medley. And you got to pretty much put your team in before this. They have to know you have a team for this, right? The Sprint Medley is they take all the sprints, they make it a baton race, and then you see who has the fastest sprint team for the youngest dudes in the country, right? The freshmen and the sophomores. Every team is not represented here. Not every school in America. But when you know Texas is a fast state, when them Southern boys is there, you know you're in the right company, right? Like I said, the Southern boys is there, the Texas boys is there. It's here in Cali, so you know that all the Cali schools from out here is there, right?
Turn it up in the sun.
Yeah. So how it goes is the first runner runs 100. They pass the baton to the 200 runner, then the 3, and then the last dude runs a 4, and ends the race where it started, right? There's 2 heats. You run 1 heat, 2nd heat, and then you have the sprint, the last heat, right? So we're in the 2nd heat, and we see the teams. We're like, fam, we got this. Yeah, we're beating all those dudes. They're not gonna beat us. They're not gonna beat us. That first heat, they must have been like, okay, these are slow kids, right? They're good times, but we knew we were up there. We knew we were up there because I ran one of the best times in the state for the 400. Evan was one of the fastest 100 runners in the state. Andrew wasn't a bad 300 runner. You know what I'm saying? He was respectable. And Joe, like I said, was in our top group, who was a good group for the 400. Right? He was on our 4x4 team. So we run. Andrew, who started? Evan. Yeah,
I believe it went Evan, Andrew,
me, Joe.
And Joe did the lap?
He did the last one. Yeah. So Evan takes off, and he's neck and neck. 100 runners, them motherfuckers is fast. They got a different kind of speed. I can't get it up like that. No. Right? So they neck and neck. He's coming in. He's passing it to Andrew. He's running the 2. Andrew starts pulling away a little bit. Evan's in the front of the 100 group, right? Andrew starts pulling away. I'm a 400 runner. 300 is Nathan to me. I'm banging this out. Yeah. I get us in first place. Joe gets the baton. Good 400 runner. He's in front the entire way. We're on the track running around with him. We're like, let's go. Right? Yeah, we're on the inside. Evan's running across from where he finished his 100. Joe's coming into the finish line. We're like, bro, this is a moment for us. This is a moment for Orange Glen. Cool, yeah. This is a moment for Cali because we don't beat these Southern boys. Yeah. We don't beat them. Right? This is a moment, bro. Everybody on the field is acknowledging what's about to happen. We're running across the field. We're at the finish line, right? And it's a double line because there's a lot of races. You start some races a little bit up, some a little bit back. You don't want to dust off the line. There not be a line there towards the end of the day, right? So Joe knows where he has to end. We talked about it.
Say it ain't
We're
so,
on the
Joe.
inside of the track, cheering Joe on. I want to say Andrew's running with him, and we're like, yes, let's go. And he's got a solid lead, bro. Joe starts walking, and we're like, he starts gearing down. He's not walking yet, right? Yeah. He's gearing down, and we're like, let's go. We're thinking, okay, he about to gear down. He gonna jog it in. He got enough time to do it. But you're trying to get the best time possible. You sprint through the line, right? We're like, let's go. He stops at the first line, and we're running over there. We go, Joe, no, go, keep going. He goes, yeah. Steps off the track, disqualifies us, bro.
Never crosses finish line.
Y'all heard that? But, bro, every time I'm with him and Nadal, Nadal's terrible speeches comes up. The terrible basketball speeches comes up. And that story comes up, bro. I still to this day give him shit about it. This is long gone. This is high school shit. It's over with. But I give him shit about it when I got to bring the homie back down. And I cannot believe, because he had to get out of here and stuff. I guess I was rushed. I cannot believe that I forgot to tell that story when he was here. Yeah. Joe, I still hold that against you, my G. Yeah, lovingly. But nah, bro. We were the fastest dudes for our age in the country that year, as far as I'm concerned. And there's no proof. There's no proof, bro. Bro, I was telling people, bro, I'm faster than everybody you know. And I was about to prove it. But you stole that from me, bro. You stole that from me, my boy.
Just like Nadal stole our upset win.
Oh my God.
About to beat the #1 team in our division. Matter of fact, if Nadal ever comes to the podcast, we'll save that story for when he's here. We'll humiliate him in person.
Oh, he's gonna take that on.
He's gonna.
Shit.
He's gonna have that conversation.
You know what he was telling me last week, because he came to Joe's him and his wife's ceremony. He was telling his girl, he had his girl there. He was telling his girl how we used to love his speeches.
Oh, we used to love his speeches?
I told him, I told his girl, I was like, look. This is all in his head.
He used to love giving them.
Yes. No. And that's what I said. He used to love giving us those speeches. I was like, Brian would be actively holding back laughter. Jesse would have his head down, probably deep sigh. I'm outright laughing.
I would always be cringing.
And Mike's in the corner like, oh my God, he's like really doing this.
To embarrass himself, I feel like it's embarrassing me too.
Yeah.
Like,
why you do that to us? Yeah.
Just give me your heart for 2 minutes.
I won't let us lose.
Shut up, dog. We just try to get on the court.
Family, we're about to play against Tyrone Shelley. I'm going to help you out. We're going to try our hardest. Because we better. We're going to get embarrassed. But, hey, man, he's 6'10". I don't know what. We ain't got a dude on our team over 6 foot. He's going to get banged on a lot tonight. What you want me to do? He was trying to tell her, he was like, man, those speeches got us over. I was like, any game that we won, we gutted out
like that.
Got us I was like, that did not get us over the hill.
It got us through our tough times? Yeah,
no.
Right.
I was like, bro, we were laughing. He was like, you loved him at the time. I was like, no, bro, this is not hindsight. I used to tell you before we walk in there, don't address the team, fam. Nobody needs your speeches, bro. Nobody's listening to your speeches. Coach would be like, oh, I'm going to leave you to the captain. We go out. We just be like, yo, let's get it together. Hit the court.
Was that the Sampa Squad game when he was banging his head on the locker room? And I told y'all to let him go because this. Because after that game, bro, you can do what you want to do to yourself, family. You wilding today.
It's like, calm down, the dog. It's okay. It's like, no, let him do that. Let him be mad. It's cost us the game.
Backdoored you,
man. Because I'm out here playing tough defense on the perimeter, and I'm like, okay. 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, 4 Mississippi, and now I'm like, okay, I gotta turn around and I gotta see where the ball is.
Oh, let me frame this for anybody listening.
We gotta tell them.
Let me frame this for anybody listeing. I don't know when he gonna be here, man. I'm gonna keep it a bean.
We'll wait.
I'll keep it a bean.
Hey, but y'all remember when the cops rolled up and the dude was like, black arm all the way out the window.
That's how much time we got? Been 20 minutes in.
Hey, that'd be a good way to leave. Give him something to hang on to. I ain't gonna forget that story.
We got an hour 15. I guess we got 15 more minutes. Or we can end it. It don't matter. You want to end it?
Nah, let's end it. We told a couple stories. Let's end it.
Yeah, but that's a story. Arm all the way out the window.
I want to help tell that story because
that was a black privilege too.
I could do for sure. Mm-hmm. I could do the back end of that story real well.
Yeah, I'll start it off. Where my story leads off, everybody else picks up.
Right. Right. And I like I said, I know the whole back end of that story. Like, verbatim. Like, I can see it happening right now. Yeah, we'll leave it right there. And that'll be good. That'll be a good way to do episode 60. I was also wondering, like, is 60 a number that we should try to celebrate? 50 for sure was. I don't know if 60 is, though.
Nah.
Not
It's
if,
a nice
not if we
round
did
number,
50.
but it's not nothing to celebrate.
I think 100.
75 then 100.
Hold off for 50
I think
episodes.
I personally think 100 is the next one.
I feel it. We'll see. But we're not doing nothing for 60. We got that established. Nothing for 60? All right. Family Room Podcast, episode 59. I'm Mike Rome.
Stephon Rome.
Jesse Williams.
It's been another episode, man. Another conversation.
Arrest the
Thank y'all for
murders
rocking
of
with us.
Breonna Taylor.
Arrest the officers that killed Breonna Taylor. Jacob Blake, we rocking with you, brother.
Say their name.
We appreciate y'all rocking with us, man. We out.